Hi there. So I'm here a little bit late today, but better late than never. I got caught up drawing again, and there was some program on the telly that was really interesting, and I had to finish my drawing. So I'm here for the Weirdie of the day, and I hope you guys will be joining me. I actually spent some time looking for my Shin Hand Touch markers. And as you can see, my collection of Shin Hand Touches is so small because it's all like grays. There's very few colored ones. So like I did get grays in. So this is gray, this is gray. I'm just gonna try to get an overview. These are gray, and this is black. So only like really have these colors, which were the ones that I sort of have chosen. And I'm not quite sure if they'll hold up at all because I have used them quite a bit. But I wanted to see if maybe we could try to use the Shin Hand Touch. And now you'll have to bear with me if they run out of power, because they have been used a lot. And I'm not sure if there's enough juice left in these pretty ones in order to... Hi Tina, hi Bev, hi Sarah, nice to see you, hi Daisy. So I'm not sure if there's enough power left in these to actually do a whole drawing. I'm gonna do a try, I'm gonna have a go, but we might have to replace some of the colors if we find ourselves in a running out, because these are the only ones I have of these and I love them. But I thought, you know, now we've been doing all the other markers so much, so why not try these and switch it up a bit? And we'll just have to hope for the best, won't we? Hi Patricia, nice to see you. So we'll have to, I'm going for the Shin Hand Touch. And yeah, as I said, we'll just have to hope for the best and replace them with other markers in case they are not like working out, if they run out of power, if there's nothing left. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I had a lovely day today. I was so happy with the twisters I got drawn up yesterday. I already scanned them yesterday, and I made the speed video. I also made the speed video of the coloring yesterday. So I've had a busy day. I made the video of the collection so that you guys can see what's in the collection, the new drawings, and of course the old ones and the colored ones that are there. Yeah, I think, you know, we might have problems here, but we'll try. All we really can do is work with it and see what is going. Yeah, it's of course a great video. Oh, then maybe you should sleep, Tina, today. Drop it today and get some rest. You need some rest, I think. Not working too hard, you know. Hi Ross, nice to see you. Hi Julie, awesome to see you. And it's a Shin Hand Touch, and we are on the verge of, you know, this might not go down so well because they might have run out of some of them, but, you know, we'll just see how far it takes us, and then we'll go from there. And I'll just exchange them if I need to, try with some of the other markers. Might not be exactly the same colors, but we'll just work with what we got. So, yeah, this is a big area. Also a big scary area. But, yeah, I can see I overdrew a bit. This must have been before I was really good at cleaning, because that is definitely not really, it's a little bit overdrawn there. Sorry about that, guys. You'll have to try to ignore it. I know that I'm worse at ignoring it. So this is the felt tip. I think I'm going to take the chisel for this big area and hope, because that usually will have some more juice in it. You can see they are a little bit, that was probably too optimistic of me to think that I could play with these, but we'll try. You know, we'll see. I don't have any alcohol that I can sort of like do a quick fix with. So I'll just have to work with what we got here and hope for the best. I do know that I have a couple of refills, but they're only like for the 4 colors that I use the most. And I've never tried refilling them. So I haven't really studied it, but I don't think it's for this one. I'll have to have a look which ones I do have the refills for. But now, you know, we've gotten this far, so I'm sure that it will work out. You know, and if not, then we get some other ones. It's a nice colors. It's really lovely colors. I Jose, yeah, but I don't have wrapping alcohol. That's the thing. I think the dropping alcohol, yes, it would work. It would definitely help. But I don't have it. I don't have it. So in this case, it won't do much of a difference since it's not available to me. You know, we're just going to start down here and try to spread it out. But I've been looking for them, and I just wanted to show you and talk a bit about them because I really love them. I didn't like the reaction of the company once when they saw me that I've done one drawing where I had other markers in, and they asked me like if I could just stick with their brand. I'm like, why would I do that? I bought these markers myself. I color with whatever I have a feeling to color with. Nobody dictates me. So I didn't post anymore on their page, you know. I just posted on their page to be nice what I had done. But if they are picky, then I don't need to post on their page, you know what I mean? So yeah. But I really like the markers, and if I someday find some at an affordable price or at a sale, I'll definitely get more of them. I do prefer I've tried in the shops. I've tried the ones that are white. I don't like them as much as I like the ones that have a black. Yeah, but I don't have a car. I don't drive, so no rubbing alcohol here. So yeah, let's just go here. I think it will work, you know. Let's just hope for the best. But they're beautiful, and they're beautiful to work with. I love the tips. They're nice and sturdy. So they got a lot going for them, definitely. And if I could, I would have more. Also because that you can refill them. You can order refills and have them refilled, or refill them yourself. So I think that that's pretty nice. And they are being compared to the Copics, actually. I haven't tried the Copics, as you may know. But they have been known to be compared with them. So they are good quality markers for sure. And today I decided to go ponytail to see if that would help, so I don't get like mixed up in the tripod constantly, you know, because that's been a little bit of an issue for me, this getting caught up in the tripod constantly. So yeah, and we just had a quiet day, you know. I did get a lot of video work done, not enough, but I did get some done. And we just had some nice dinner, me and Victoria. We had a long, nice bath also. She always likes to, it's this game we play with the guess an animal. And you have to think of an animal, and you have to say, you know, I'm thinking of an animal, and then you have to give a lead, you know. And then the other person have to guess it. And that's sort of how that game goes. It's a very simple game, and she loves it. And now that I know her so well, I almost know which animal she's thinking about before she thinks it. So it's a fun game. But yeah. So we played that. Yes, I slept a lot today. I went to bed after I walked Victoria to school at 8:30 this morning. I went to bed and I slept until she got home. My dad actually picked her up today from school. and she was home about 2:30. So I got up there, so I had a nice sleep. So that was very nice. So that was good. So yeah, I slept while she was in school. So so that fitted well. Today, however, I'll have to go to sleep earlier because she's not going to school tomorrow. She's feeling a little bit like her throat hurt and she wasn't feeling well. I don't know if it's just the stress of them switching the classes and all that, and then she just doesn't feel like going or something. But she's very rarely homesick, and you know, if she really feels like staying home, I'm not going to push her to go to school. Then we'll just, you know, hang out here and have a good time, maybe watch some movies and do something else. Besides, I don't really think they learn a lot in school, to be honest. But you know, she's normally always there, so it's not a big thing if she doesn't come one day. It's okay. So yeah, that's a nice game. It's a fun. She's always loved it since she was little, and we keep doing it. So it sort of all of a sudden said it was trying to reconnect, which should not happen because I've got the wire in. I mean, I got the cable in, so it's not on Wi-Fi. So I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry about that, but I'm clueless as to why I did it. I think this is going to be hard work if they're all going to be really dried up. Sorry, I just so much wanted to try them. Let me see if I can have. I'll have to probably replace them then. Which orange can I replace this? This one is. I can't even see the name here. It's called Melon Yellow. Let's just see. If I can do one round with each color, then it will be fine. We'll be replacing them in the next round if that's what it comes down to. I'll just be a little bit patient because they are nice. And since I've spread it out a lot, it should be a possibility, even though that some of them might be a little bit dry. So yeah, there goes my Shinhan touch. They're gonna die on me. Well, I've known that for a long time. That's why I haven't used them, because I didn't want them to die on me, but they're gonna do that. I mean, that's inevitable with markers. You're gonna run out of ink at some point. But at least with these, I can order refills. So I won't be throwing them out because I can still use the barrel and the tips and everything. And the tips seem to hold up really nicely. I did color some really huge posters that I drew with them, so it's only natural that they are not in the best condition. They're not like mint. So we're just going to do the small ones before I go into the bigger areas. And so some of these places they will only pass once, so it's not that bad. My internet cut out here. Okay, just as long as I wasn't cut off completely, but it shouldn't cut off when I have the wire in, you know, the cable in. Then it shouldn't because it's not on Wi-Fi. So that was really weird. So maybe I should check if it went on at all. But now I'm afraid to touch the connection. You know, where is this thingy? Okay, here. Let me just see. Ah, it's not on. It's on the Wi-Fi of the. It's gone automatically on the Wi-Fi of the library downstairs. So I'm just gonna try to find mine here and log on to that, because The Wi-Fi of the internet on the library is a wall, won't work. So now it should be on my cable. So now it's on my cable. I don't know why it would automatically go and put itself on that. Great. See you soon, Sarah. Gotta take care of them babies. That's important. So yeah, I guess that that's messed up that it connected to the library. That's really strange. So I guess I'll have to do a little check for where it connected to next time I open up the computer and see if it connected to the right place, because it definitely shouldn't be connecting on auto to the library, because that sucks. The library connection sucks. So, and I don't use that connection. I only use my own. I have a good Wi-Fi connection here, so I think, you know, it usually will go on that if mine isn't working, but mine is working. So, oh my God, all this tech stuff, it can drive you crazy, totally crazy and bonkers, because there's so much weird stuff to deal with it. Maybe they just feel dry, because I've been coloring with the brand new chameleons and the brand new style file ones that haven't really been used, and I'm used to always my Tiger Twin markers always filled, and also the Letraset Pro are always, you know, they're in good shape, so that might be why I'm just feeling that these feel dry. It might not be totally dry. We'll just see how it pans out. But they're definitely taking longer to get on, and I think that is because they don't have that much ink left in them. So yeah, I can't really, because normally they are not like that, and then they are full and everything, they just go smoothly. So yeah, but I think it's going to be a neat one. I was actually going to turn it around, but I can still make it on turning it around. Hi Danny, hi Beverly, hi Kimberly. So yeah, this is going to be neat. Yeah, and they have had one of my favorite boxes of red wine on a discount in the supermarket. So that was very lovely, because usually I have 1 or 2 glasses, you know, like in the evening. So a box like that can last me quite a while. And then, you know, if you can get the good box for the same price as a cheapy box, then that is a good thing. So I'm actually drinking a pretty decent wine right now. So cheers for that. First sip. So yeah, I think, you know, in some areas I'll have to revisit, but a lot of the areas I won't have to revisit. So that's why I also spread it out a lot to begin with. This one is the orange, and I know that one I think I have the refill for. It's just I never figured out how to refill them. I never tried it. Let's just see how much they will do for us. They're being put to the test. Might have to go find that refill. Yeah, it's definitely not there. That was probably one of my worst decisions so far. Let me see. I don't think we're gonna go far with that. So yeah, soon I'll have to take the consequence. And replace, because this one ain't going nowhere. So yeah, this one is gone. I don't feel like struggling to try to refill for the first time right now. So we're gonna go over and see if this orange will take over its spot. And this is my cheap Tiger marker. my trusty cheap tiger marker, and I'm just going to go over the other one. And this one is full of ink. So that's a good thing. And it's just going to take over. It's a little bit lighter than the one I had from the touch. But it's just going to take its place, and that's it. Nothing more to do about it. Sometimes we got to have, like, you know, draw the consequence of the markers. But this one I actually do have a refill, and I will refill it. And then we'll just have to see on the other markers how they hold up, and then we'll just replace them with other colors when we go along, if need be. Or just take something from another set that is a little bit similar. So now I don't think I'm gonna tag Shinhan Touch when they got upset that I was using other markers on one drawing with their markers. So I don't think that the tagging them in a video where I'm replacing their colors with the cheapest markers there are, I don't think they will appreciate the sentiment. I don't think they have that kind of humor, probably. Well, they should just send me some refills and a free set to try on. You know, I mean, then I'll just use them markers. No, but they're actually pretty difficult to find here. I've only actually found one shop that has them. And they're pretty pricey. No, actually two shops. That's not true. That's two shops where I found them. And the one is a bookshop. So I'm guessing other bookshops of that type will have it. And that's a pretty common bookshop. So, but because it's not a place where I come very often, then of course for me it's not a normal place. So I bought mine in an office supply shop. When they just got them, and then they had some special offer, and that's how I got them. And that's been 3.5 years ago, something like that. So yeah, I've had them for a while. The gray set I really like. I've used that for a lot of different toning and effects on bigger posters. So I really like the quality of their ink, and I like the way that their markers are designed, the way that they feel in the hand, and the way that flows when they're full of ink. Not when I've used it all up. It's depressing. That's pretty normal. So yeah, I got that going. Gonna get this one. So yeah, one replacement so far, and I'm betting that there will probably be a few more, but we'll make it work. And maybe we should just turn this bad boy around just to see him differently, because I think he really looks different when you see him like that. He gets sort of a funny expression. I'm liking that. So now we're gonna venture into the first red one, which is called Vermilion. And Vermilion, I know that we have a Vermilion in the Chameleon set. Then the question is, how close are they actually? Because Vermilion should be the same color in all of the sets, but we all know that it doesn't happen like that. Does not happen like that. So we saw that with that mauve, because the mauve of the letter set Pro markers and the mauve of the Chameleon, they're two very, very distinctively different colors that cannot at any point be compared at all. Whereas the one seems like a light grayish purple, the other one is a strong, powerful magenta purplish thing. So no comparison there at all, but they have the same name, which I find pretty disappointing. Oops. Now it wants to leave the page. I don't know what is going wrong. It's not my day. Oh yes, it would be awesome if some people will join. Great for sharing. That's awesome. Yes, I found them in Denmark, and they also have the bookshop where I found them was Bog and Idé, so that should be almost anywhere. I just don't go there that often, but I bought them in the office supply shop at Nørreport in the center of the city, and that's like, yeah, three and a half years ago. They still have them in there, but they're definitely not cheap. They were on some special offer because they just got them home when I got them, but they aren't anymore. So sometimes I stand there and look at them a little bit and like, can't have them, can't have them. It's not gonna work, not gonna work. So yeah. In the Nørreport Kontorforsyning, that's where I found them. But I also have seen them in Bog and Idé in the Amager Center. So if Bog and Idé in the Amager Center has them, I'm sure that Bog and Idé other places have them or on their web shop. I would think so. So that's some Danish places where it's possible to get them. And I would say that in Bog and Idé, the white ones, they're cheaper. They're not as expensive, but I just don't really like the white ones. Can't really explain why, but they just don't. They just seem all ruined when I look at them in the shop. I mean, that could be because people's been testing and ruining them while they were testing, but I just don't fancy them really. It's just something about them. Whereas these ones, they have like, I think it's because the white ones, they have like a brush tip, and these ones have a sturdier felt point. The brush tip is also a felt one, but it's just very soft and gooey, and it seems mushy, and it seems like the kind of brush tip that will break easily and fast in wear and tear. So that's why I didn't buy any of those to try them out. I just got the black ones because I like the tip and how the tip works. But so far they're holding up a little bit. So this one is holding up. So we'll see how the next red one. There's 4 that I know that are used to an excess. I just got to see which 4 it is. Probably the lime green, that orange, and then probably a blue and a purple, maybe, or magenta. That I used a lot because I did one poster that I did in those 4 colors in gray, and that was pretty awesome. But it was a very big one, so it used up a lot of color. And it was on cardstock, so that ate a lot of the color too. So there's different things playing in there. So this is lovely. But it's going to be a cool one. And I think he's nice when we see him like that, because the last time I colored him, it was the other way around. So I think it's nice to have him this way around this time. Just so that I don't do it the same way each time either. And yeah, tomorrow I was supposed to have like a mom-daughter dinner with the other girls from the class, but most of the moms wasn't able to come, so I kind of said, okay, you know, then there was only one the day before yesterday who had said that she could come. So I said to her, well, you know, the other 4 moms, they didn't answer, and I didn't, you know, 2 of them said they couldn't, so, you know, let's just cancel, because if it's not all of them, it's not fun when we're doing it to get the girls together. And then the other one, she had SMS'd me that they were coming. So I had to call her and say that it's not going to happen. But I think she sounded relieved because they were busy anyway, so she just wanted to, you know, make an effort of coming. So, so that was good. And I was relieved that I didn't have, you know, it was supposed to be like a mom-daughter dinner where every mom and daughter would bring like a little dish, something little, a little nice appetizer. It was supposed to be like a little bit fancy, you know, just, you know, make an effort of making it look nice. And then the girls could eat and the moms could eat, and we just sit together because there was some iffiness around the girls interacting. Nothing really to do with Victoria because Victoria is one of the boys. So she's not really into the girly group issues, and she doesn't wear the girly clothes and all that. So I never really knew about these issues before until I heard about them in school. And the other moms were like talking about that we had to do an extra effort to make the girls relate to each other, and you know, because they're only 5 now, and so you know, I was trying to be a part of that. But obviously Victoria is not really a part of it because she doesn't really hang out with the girls anyways that much. Only like really 1 or 2 of them, but very rarely, because she's more with the boys. With the other little boys with the football clothes on, she's more there. But I thought it could have been fun. I mean, I understand because the one mom, she's from South Africa, and they were going there for vacation. I envy her. Oh my God, that must be so nice, going to the warm weather and the sun. And so they were going there. So of course, you know, then you can't come. And I don't know what the other ones were doing. One didn't call back, so duh. The other one, I think, is something with work related, you know. So, you know, you can't really, things are the way they are. So, I mean, it's not because they don't want to do it. It's just because they're busy. Busy lives. Yeah, it could be like a rapid face here with the eyes here and the whiskers out there. That's a pretty cool idea. We could call him rapid face. That is pretty cool. I actually, now that you say that, I can see like the ears coming up here, and his eyebrows here, and his eyes here, and then that nose thing in the mouth, and the whiskers here. Cool. Cool, Beb. I like that. Hi, Rose. And a turtle face peeking out. It could be. Maybe he has a turtle or a goldfish. Maybe it's a pet. Maybe it's a pet. Okay, now I forgot where I was. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm here. I'm all back on track with him. That I like that. This is a rabbit face. Maybe it's a wild rabbit. Not like a pet rabbit, a wild one that's been out catching goldfish in a pond. Or he just has a pet turtle that he's taking to a pond. Has to be something with a pond. So yeah, that's pretty neat. This red one seems to be working well, and it's a beautiful color. Really beautiful red. It's a carmine. Really nice red color, for sure. For sure, for reals. And it seems to be working with a lot of ink in it. So this is a happy one. And I think, you know, there are some of these colors that won't be repeated that many times, so I think we'll live through it. I'm hoping, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Otherwise, we'll just have to replace. But, you know, as little as possible. If we could do it without replacing, it could be pretty cool. Luckily, we're finished with that big area there. So that's awesome. And Tina, I got all your awesome scans. They're so beautiful. And I mean, it looks like just like mine. When you filled it in on the 9, it looks just like mine. I can see a difference, so it's perfect, and it's really cool. It's going to be a cool video. I didn't have time to do the video today, but I will do a really cool video of all those scans because they're just awesome, and it will work really beautifully. I'm sure it will be a nice video, and it's nice to have these little funny, funky videos. Sort of also good publicity for Weirdie a Day, just like your colors are great publicity for Weirdie a Day to get a little bit more attention, and hopefully more people will join us and do a Weirdie a Day. And I just did 3 new Weirdies were born today while I was watching this interesting television thingy. Normally I don't find a lot of television things interesting. I like movies, but this was quite an interesting, relevant program for me. So yeah, I watched it. Yeah. So, and in the course of watching that, 3 new Weirdies were born, not twisters. Weirdies were born, and they are whole. I can't wait. You know what? I'm gonna promise you that once I've cleaned them, I'm gonna print them so I can show you guys the new twisters. I know that they're not gonna be in books anytime soon, but I just want to show you because they're so funny and funky, and some of them are very different, and you know, they all the Weirdies are different. They all got their own little personalities and things going because they sort of develop while I'm sitting, and of course I develop too, so the Weirdies develop too. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. The colors are awesome. They're beautiful, beautiful colors. They're very, very clean and strong, and sort of, yeah, and I spent a long time choosing these colors when I bought them because they do have, I think, a lot of colors. I don't remember how many they have, but maybe it's 168. I'm not sure. But I spent a lot of time choosing because I wanted to have a little bit of everything. Actually, the saying that we put, I made up was, a Weirdie a day, Patricia, a Weirdie a day keeps the stress at bay and sends smiles your way. The birth of the Weirdies. Yeah, so it's a pun on the apple a day keeps the doctor away. Then I made it the Weirdie a day keeps the stress at bay and sends smiles your way. Because, I mean, you can't help but laugh at these Weirdies. They are funky, funny little ones. And yeah, they have a life of their own, I think. In my opinion, they do. So, yeah. So this is the first pinky one that I can't read the name of. Vivid Pink. Vivid Pink. I mean, these were like the perfect colors I found when I wanted to, you know, what my goal was when I was choosing, because I had a limited how many I could buy. Then it was to find that perfect rainbow, and I think I did. Now I just have to replace them, or you know, at least buy the inks for all of them and figure out how to refill them, so that I have my little perfect rainbow at least set in these. And then hope one day to expand on them. You know, I was hoping that Office Supply Shop would have big difficulty selling these markers and would have to like mark them down and sell them really cheaply. I was going around hoping for that. Mean. So that I could go in and get them cheap. Because they weren't selling them, but I guess I'm not the only one that is sort of art artist that goes in there, so they are selling them down. I was hoping that, you know, if it was only people who are going for arts, no, for office supplies, that they wouldn't be interested in buying overpriced markers, but that was not the case, unfortunately. I had, because this place is known to put the prices down on things they can't sell, they put them really, really down just to get rid of them, because they don't have a lot of storage space. So, you know, they sort of, if they can't sell it, they put it down and they boom out the door. So I was kind of hoping for that, but nope, didn't happen, unfortunately. You can always hope, you know. And especially also because, you know, in that case, maybe one could buy the display case, because the display case is really nice also. So yeah, dream on, Maria, dream on. Hang in there and dream on. One is allowed to have a wild and crazy dream sometimes. This is cool. I was thinking, you know, we should try to promote the coloring of the Weirdies, like Color Weirdie Day, in places like, you know, oil states, Dubai and stuff like that, because, you know, if one of these guys with the 300 wives, he decides, you know, maybe my wife should do some therapy, you know, relaxation therapy with coloring, you know, that could be pretty good if they all needed a book each. So yeah, definitely gonna go for, you know, like make some targeted advertisements in Dubai, targeted towards businessmen, business oil sheiks with lots of wives that need to be de-stressing with coloring. You know, I mean, come on, what could be better? I mean, a man with 300 wives, he needs them to de-stress. So, you know, could be perfect. Yeah. So yeah, that's funny. You never know. You should start making like tags of oil prices and stuff like that on the drawings, so that it can be discovered by them. See, this is what your wives need to stress off. This is a really lovely pink. I mean, I really like this. It's really vivid, as it says. And here comes one that I think will be half empty. That's a vivid purple, it's called, which is a really awesome color too. Oh, you got it today. They're cool, the drawings, huh? They're all like all those twisting, you know, those mandalas where everything is intertwining. I really love those also. They're new. Yeah. No, I won't be out of jail before until the 13th. It's the 13th I'm out. Maybe the man should go for coloring. Yeah, yeah, but I'm thinking, you know, if he chooses to tip for each wife, it could be pretty good business for me. It's just it is a funny thought. But he would definitely probably be the one who needs to actually color. Yeah, this one is definitely going to be troublesome, I think, because it's almost empty. So I think I better find the one that can replace this one the best. I'm gonna go for looking if I can find that mauve. that I had with the letter set, because I think that one might be able to replace that one. Not the one from the medians, but the one from the letter set. I think that color might be able to go in there and do the job. And here, I'm great at finding that one. No, that's a mulberry. So maybe it was a mulberry and not a mauve. Maybe it was. Let me see here. I think it was. Let me just compare them and see, because I think this one may go in and be able to do something about that vivid purple. You know, if they might be similar enough that I can replace with that one. It's a beautiful color. I mean, I'm really, that's why I have it. I really love this color. I think they're close enough. I mean, you can see the one is slightly lighter, but it's close enough. So I'm gonna put this one over, and this one I know that I have 4 replacements, and this one I have, but yeah, I'm gonna replace it with this one so that we get the closest color in as soon as possible once I realize that they're not. Oh yes, the hard books. It's not gonna be too long. I'm gonna be making the videos either tonight or tomorrow, the presentation videos, and I'm gonna be pressing the button tomorrow on them. So definitely they're gonna have a go, and they're gonna be probably announced, I think, on the 15th, but nah, they will be out, because once I press the button, then, you know, on the US Amazon, they go up pretty fast. But I'll of course also be putting them on the PayHip, so I have to do the files for that. Oh, I have a lot of things I have to do. I have so many things I have to get done. And it's not because I'm waiting for the last moment to do it. It's just because I have a lot of things constantly that I have to do. So so it's not like I'm pushing it. It's just I have to do this, I have to do that, and everything. This is a lovely color. I love this color. So this one is called Mulberry. I have to try to remember those names. But this is really one of my favorite colors in this in the letter set ones. So far, these colors are going really well together. And the nice thing is that all of these markers have similar qualities in coverage. So they look uniform and nice next to each other. That's something that's important for me, that I get that nice finish without streakiness. Because I hate streakiness. So yeah. These are awesome. I think it's going to be a really lovely color sequence on this one. I still have no idea what I'm going to put there. I think that first yellow will have to be replaced too, because that was really itty-nitty. So, but at least, you know, we got some guest appearances from the Shinhan Touch, and now you just know that it's because I use them so much that they're used up. So it's not because I don't like them, I love them. So they're beautiful, you know, and yeah, they're just a nice design also. They got a lot going for them, definitely. I do say that they tend to bleed a little bit outside of the lines, so they must be using stronger alcohol. Whereas, you know, for instance, Sharpies, they bleed a lot outside the lines. You have to like just stay close to a line and it will sort of fill itself out. That's a technique to use there. So yeah, going for the next one, that's a purple, and that's probably, it says ultramarine. ultramarine. It looks like purple, but it says ultramarine. So let's see what that's like, and if I can feel that it's dry, I'll replace it. It doesn't feel dry. And that one is actually pretty close to the indigo. I think the one that I like from the chameleon set. So if I need to replace it, I think that that's the one that I would replace it with. Though it does have a lighter blue, maybe. Maybe I should just try to replace it with another indigo. Because it might be needed. We'll see here how it holds up on the big area here. I was just sort of going to connect here around the eyes and frame this thing. So yeah. The hard books are coming the 15th, I think. I'm gonna click the bottom on Amazon tomorrow. That's the 12th. No, yeah, tomorrow is the 12th. So I definitely press it there. So they might already be on Amazon International tomorrow. But then, if they're there tomorrow, then they will make it to the European Amazons, so that they're there and ready on the 15th. In case sometimes it takes longer, and sometimes they're just up there within half an hour. You can never really tell. But they themselves usually say within 72 hours. So I just sort of follow that. And then as soon as it's there, then it's there. And that's where there's going to be, there's 3 books plus a 4th, where all 3 are in the 4th book. So that's going to be the best deal to get the big one that has all 4 books in it. Because that's going to be the price of 1.5 book. But you know, I made it like that because some people don't like mandalas, or some people don't like full page patterns, and then I thought, you know, I'll just split them up like that, and then everybody can make a choice. But if they want, they can get the full thing. Yeah, you can feel that the ink is running out. I'm just gonna have to have a look here. It is a pretty color. I think it's going to be hard to be matched because it's sort of purple, but not purple. We call it indigo, but I think if I look at the indigo, I'm just going to look at the chameleon indigo. I don't think that that's going to be anywhere close. No, because that's sort of a dark blue, and this one definitely has some purple in it. So I'm just going to have another look. There was a purple in the set of the chameleons that I thought might be something. It's a blue violet. Let's see if that one holds closer to. Nope, that's a blue. There's nothing purple about that. And there was this great purple. Let's see. That one is closer, but it doesn't have that bluish thing about it. And the violet, I'm just gonna try to find the best match. Gonna try the violet, deep violet. Let's see if that one is closer. It is closer, but it's not as light. Sorry about that, guys. But I really do like to get the right color. I think this one is too purple. Yeah. I have to find a more bluish one, so I'll try to get out my, this one says ultramarine, so I'm going to try to look at the letter set ones and see if we got that one in a color that matches up a little bit, because so far we haven't gotten one that matched up. So let's see here. This is the indigo of the letter set. No, that's too blue. That's too blue. This is a purple. Let me see that one. Closer, but not blue enough. Then we got this one that's called violet. That one is pretty much closer. I think this one so far is the one that makes it closest. And they had that plum. Nope, too reddish. And what is this one? Amethyst. I think that would be too light. Yeah, nope. So I think that one would be the closest one. Because this was the petrol blue. This was the sepia slate. This one here that looks like a dark aubergine. Maybe. No. No, 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 no. There's none of them that are really blue enough to get that exact color. And that color is just so awesome. It's a midnight blue. Nope. So yeah, that's the closest one. This violet. That's the closest one to it. I'm thinking that that one was closer. But now I forgot which one that was. Cool. So this goes to show. Yeah, that's this one. So I'm going to do it with this one. It's the chameleon one. I think that is the closest one. At first I thought that was far away, but it's closer than the others. So I'm just going to try to finish this and over there, and then I'll replace. Sorry about being... I'm a little bit stubborn when it comes to colors, and I chose this set because of the colors. Sleep well, Tina. Have a good night. Oh, that's sweet of you. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. No, the tiger mark is too purple. It didn't work. So I'm just going to try to see if I can do a full round with it. And yeah, none of the tiger did the job for this blue, violet blue thing that they call indigo. It's a really, really awesome color. And yeah, all the other sets have blues that are called indigo, but they're nowhere close to this one. This one has sort of it's a bluish violet. And I just tried all of them. None of them really fit to make it up for this one. So I'm just gonna try to push him as much as I can. And then in the next round, take the other one in. See, this one's a little bit tinier. I did try, I found one in chameleon that's a little bit closer, but it's got a little bit more red in it, in the composition of the color. So yeah, but it will, I'm trying to see if it can go in the next round so it doesn't go in the middle. To see if I can stretch this one long enough. Sometimes they can be stretched a little bit. So yeah, now we are just getting into the inner workings of being almost out of ink on these. But yeah, no harm done, because these can be ordered and replaced with a refill ink. So that's a nice part, that you get to actually keep your awesome marker. You can just fill in some more ink and then you're set to go again. So that's a good thing. So now only leave those two areas of it. Yeah, they're really important. And it has to be the right color. That's why, you know, this one is the right color. This is the one that I like for the set. So it really has to be the... I mean, I spend so much time picking out the colors in my Shin Hand Touch set. Whereas, you know, I'm fortunate with the Letra set that I just have a lot. Because I got them as a present, a lot of them. And I got them on offer. So it was easy because they were, yeah, they were cheap. when I got them, and I could buy them, and then I got a whole lot from my friend when the first set of chameleon that she bought for me didn't really pan out. So in that respect, I have a lot of those. But these ones, I had to be really careful and only pick out exactly the colors that I wanted, because I couldn't afford to buy very many of them. So a lot of thought went into which ones I chose. So this one is now gonna go over here, and the next time we'll be using this chameleon instead. The next round where it goes in. Now we have this blue that is called Brilliant Blue. Good night, Tina. Yeah, it's a brilliant blue, so we'll have to see. Yeah, really, yeah, very chosen. It's just that one I would be able to replace with the indigo from the chameleons if that one goes down. But I don't think that this one will go down. I think that the others is because I simply use them an awful lot, because they're my favorite ones. So that's it's a very simple. And then because, yeah, I made that big poster where I used them. So, but on this one, you know, pretty soon we will have colored in all the big spaces, and the smaller spaces are easier to just stretch it. It's not that easy to stretch ink on larger spaces, because then it is that we get that streakiness if it's almost empty. That's also sometimes why you can experience streakiness, because it's almost empty or blotchy, you know. It's also not nice if it's too blotchy. But you can see this is a really pretty bright blue in a dark one. So it's got a lot of color pigment in it, and a really beautiful pigment it is. And this one, yeah, I would definitely be able to replace it with the indigo from the chameleons, because it's that kind of ink, that kind of color. It's, yeah. I don't really want to replace it. I want to use this one. I'm being a big kid right now. I want to use this one. I want to use these. So what's called that Nana series, where she has that really annoying nasal voice. Yeah, it's a good one. I always laugh at that. She's a good actress, that woman. I don't remember what her name is. She's really funny. Fran, the nanny, or something like that. And her voice is just awesome. I mean, when she's talking, I mean, she can be really, really annoying, but she's just so funny to listen to. I like her a lot. So yeah, it's shaping up. It's getting really dark there, but they are very distinct when you see them next to each other. That, I mean, the one seems purple and the other one is sort of, if you can see that distinction between those two blues. So I really like that. That even when they're close, you can see how different they are, even that they're both really dark. At a distance, you might not notice, but when you're up close, but they're in the same sort of family somehow. So they have a lot going for them. So that's how I obsess about colors. And that's why one day I will have the what's called the Copics. I will have them one day, because I really want to have all those different shades and just work with them, because they have them parted up in sets of shades also, and there's a whole system and stuff with them. So it'd be interesting. But you know, the more with those markers that I already have, the more and more I can put together like a perfect set with all of, you know, like choose from each one the perfect colors that I really think are awesome. And then maybe put together a totally perfect rainbow set of 36. Yeah, a rainbow of 36. That would be ultimate, or even 48, but where it goes like really in sequence. But you know, picked and choose from the different sets, that could be pretty neat. Sort of like an ultimate combination. Yeah, a friend the nanny. I really like that. They're always making reruns here. I mean, we pay for television here. Like we have to pay every 3 months a license, and this is, of course, we also on the side pay for cable and internet and this and that and this and that. But we also pay the government for government television, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. It did have there was a point when it was a public service thing, the television, and there was only the public service channels from the state. Then there was a point in paying. But now all the other channels are sort of like commercially based. But we still have to pay media license even if we don't watch the public service channel. I think that's pretty stuck up and unfair. Why should I pay for something that I don't really watch? And I already pay so much for internet and the television channels and the TV provider, and you know, it just seems like you know, a useless extra expense. Oh yeah, well I saw yours today. That was awesome, and you're really catching up, Ross. You're almost up. I mean, you started way later, so you've done quite a few, and they're really beautiful. The one today, I remember you used a lot of glitter. It was really beautiful. I think it's metallic, maybe metallic. Was it metallic glitter gel pens or something like that? It was really awesome. I was looking at it, I was thinking, wow, that looks amazing. I saw it today and I saved it in the folder to put up in the album and in the next video. It was really nice, really great result. Us. Yeah, but that's in the media license here, the radio and the television, but not the, you know, like just that public service channels. And they just, you know, 90, well, not 90, but at least, you know, on some channels they have like 3 or something, I don't know. It's all reruns of old English crime series like Barnaby and stuff that's like really old that we already saw 100 times. And I don't get it. I don't get why. You know, I mean, they post so much money into that, and it's just bleeding reruns. And the children's channels they made, they're just talking like, you know, foul language all the time. So it's not like really very suitable for children, I think. Most of the humor that gets into the children's television programs there on the children's channels is like adult humor. What, you know, you can take it in two ways. Sort of like, you know, there's always like an extra pun that has an adult angle or something like that, you know. I don't really like it. So I don't see why I should pay for it. It's against everything that I think is okay. So this is sort of like a dark turquoise. I know that it's called cerulean blue, but this was the one that could sort of go in with this sequence for me to move into the turquoise. And the one thing that I am missing in this set is a real green. Because there was like a certain amount that you could get of the markers for a certain price. So I had to cut out the green one. Yeah, so the real green one got cut out. So I don't have that one. There should have been like two greens probably in this set. to have made it absolutely perfect. So maybe one day I'll be able to build on it a bit. So here we go, that will continue there, and this will continue up here. So we're having a nice sequence of Mr. Wild Rabbit Face with his pet turtle or goldfish. I hope he doesn't eat that pet turtle or goldfish. Yeah, if it's a turtle, he might, not eat it because it might be hard to crack. No, but if it's only if you're scanning. Ross is just coloring. If you're coloring, then it's beautiful on pictures and it's beautiful to hang up. For me, I don't use the glitter and I don't use the neons because I scan them and I put them on stickers and products on my Redbubble, on T-shirts and stuff like that, and I scan for covers and posters and other things, other products, merchandise. Not that I really sell any of it. The small stickers are cheap. Usually, if you get 10 small stickers, there's a 50% usually on the Redbubble. That's not something that I can make. That's Redbubble who makes those percentage things. But that's because I scan them, and I need the scans. So that's why I don't use it. And I tell you guys about it because if, for instance, you want to participate in a cover challenge, because I do make cover challenges, and there will be one soon. Once I get everything else done, there will be a cover challenge. And then I tell you, you can't use neon or glitter pens, gel glitter pens on the cover challenge, because there I will need a scan, and it won't come through nicely on the scan, so that's why. It's just if you want to, I mean, everybody can scan and send them to me if they want. For instance, Tine, she's made the work in progress scans of, I don't know if you saw the video on my page, where she made, that was number 8, I think she made work in progress scans. And then I made a really nice video, sort of like a promotional video for Weirdies. And now she sent me a lot of scans from number 9 that are work in progress. Then I put those together to make a nice video. And you guys, of course, if you want to scan and send me, then you're welcome. And when I have time and I can, I will try to put them in videos so that you can see your results. This is called Ice Blue. But I think this works in the sequence of like a peacock greenish. So I don't think that the name really fits with the color, but I think the color is absolutely awesome, and that's why it was picked in my perfect pick here. Now I should probably look for an emerald green from another set to go in between, so that we do get some green in here that is missing, so we don't go straight to that lime. That is probably the 4th one that is gonna be empty, because that's the one that I have used for that big poster where I used those up. So we'll probably have to pick a lime from another set to begin off with. So because it's bound to be empty, that lime that I have on this set, because it's just so awesome. So yeah, so I'm gonna be picking 1 or 2 greens from another one. I think I'm gonna take the lime from, there's a yellow green in the letter set that is very much a lime that I like. And then I think I'm gonna be taking a green, maybe 2 greens, maybe 1 green, I don't know, from the chameleons. I think so. I think we need that to sort of perfect this rainbow, give it what it's missing. So we got like two that seems like they're turquoise, even though they don't have turquoise names. Oh my God, I do talk a lot about my rainbows, don't I? I'm a rainbow fanatic. Yeah, scan them. There are Weirdie marks. I mean, all the Weirdis that I've uploaded on the Red Bottle so far are on all the products. So there's like when I just, I put a link to one of the products, and then underneath it will say it's on 55 other products, and then you can click on that, and then you can see all the different stuff it's on. And there's mocks and cups. All kinds of stuff. T-shirts, dresses, scarves. But I'm really preparing to make that final piece with the 366 Weirdis and a bedspread. That's gonna be at the end of the year. I mean, that bedspread is gonna be. I mean, I still have to make the template because I think it's gonna be. It might even be excessive to get that many on. But I'm gonna have a go with it. Definitely gonna have a go with it because it could be so cool to have the whole year's colored Weirdis on one bedspread, so that there's no repeats. So it's just full of them all. It could be pretty neat. It would have to be the big spread, I think. A huge one. But I think it could be cool. I know that on my Society 6 I can also make carpets and sort of like, like those cozy blankets that you can have in the couch for when it's a little bit, you just need something to muffle up in, feel comfy. And I can make that on a Society 6, and that also make like big throw pillows, floor pillows things I can make there. So I'm gonna go not aquamarine. I think I'm gonna go maybe the dark sage. I like that color. I'm gonna go for that for the green, and then I'm gonna go for I'm just gonna go for dark sage, and then I'll replace this lime because I already know that he's called yellow green, and I know that I have a yellow green in the letter set that I like. Actually like. So I'll take him and replace him with that one. So I just have to find him. Lemony. So that's a leaf green. Sorry. You might as well have a look with me. I mean, it's boring to see me looking and you can't see them. Maybe we'll get the gold out just for fun, because it is a funky place. This was a lime green. This is called lime green. Just gonna take it out. So I think actually it's a lime green. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for that lime then. There is a lime green in my tiger marker set too. Just gonna compare them to see which one comes closest to this one. See, this is a nice color. And then we'll take the tiger one here. This is much more. This is more like the apple green of the chameleons, and this is the one from the Letraset Pro. Yeah, definitely. I prefer the one from the Letraset Pros. So that's the one that's going to be replacing this one. And this one goes back on his spot almost. As close as can get. And then we are on to the sage, dark sage. And we're going to be adding here. We are moving along quite nicely, even though that I've had to replace a lot of colors. So this green, I think, is a good in between here. Going from those turquoisey blues. to develop it to a real green. I might need to have another green, I think. Yeah, I think I'll have to have the grass green as well. This one before, just to complete it. And this one here, we're already done with the sequence, so we're up here. So we're working more and more towards like a perfect set of colors. I'm still far from it in the greens. I have to really explore my greens to get there, I think. But it's getting pretty nifty. And tomorrow is the 12th, and it's supposed to start the Steamed Iron Chef competition again. I'm looking forward to getting the new theme and see how they actually, one of the things that I suggest is was the people they could make more than one entry, like maximum 3, but he decided that people can make 2 entries, so I'm happy with that. Because sometimes I'm not sure, you know, maybe I want to make a starter, maybe I want to make a dessert, and then it's pretty nice to be able to do 2 entries for the competition. So then you double your chances of getting a good position, at least of one of them, and you can gather a few more points. So I'm happy with that change. He's still going to be sole judging on the competition, so I hope it's not going to be all the vegans who get the points, because I do think that there has been a slight tendency for the vegans to get a better position than the meaties, and I don't think that is fair, because I haven't seen that great vegan dishes. I've seen great dishes, but not that it was, you know, some of the meaty dishes were better, in my opinion, but that's a personal opinion. And if it's only one judge, then it relies on his personal opinion and preference. So we'll see what that becomes like. Jewel tones, that's lovely. Yeah, bedspread of Weirdie's king size, the biggest one, and yeah, I'm gonna do that because I just think that could be awesome cool. If I'm gonna color all of them, why not put them on something really big and substantial? So yeah, I think that would be like an epic thing to have at the finish of the Weirdie day, to have a bedspread with each and every colored one. And this is the grass green, also from the Chameleons, that I think is a good one to have in between here. So we are moving along. Now I should count my colors, and then I'll get upset if they're even number. Crazy me. You know, like I started with the 9 set, and then I expanded that to the 18. There it's okay that it's an even, because we all know that 1 and 8 makes 9, so it's still okay. But that's the doubling of the 9, so in some weird logic in my head, that was okay. But if it's, for instance, 12, I might have a slight issue, even though 12 can become 3. 2, 4, 6, 2. So it's 14. I should definitely have one more color somewhere to make it 15. But no, well, I won't. I will stop worrying about numbers for a second and just enjoy the colors and try to stop obsessing about numbers. Maybe I can make some weird excuse. Well, if I add something colored in the gold, If I, for instance, color this in the gold, then I'll have 15. So I can easily remedy that 14. It's awesome. I like this. It's looking really good, huh? The colors are looking beautiful next to each other. They're like really, each color is giving the next color something. That's what I look for when I look for a sequence, that I would like the one color to give the next color an edge, or and that's also a thing where the color companion goes in well, where you can put up colors next to each other in some of the smaller trial areas I have, so that you can sort of find combos that you like next to each other, how they work with each other, or how they help each other along. So that's the whole thing there. And with that, with the color companion, I do recommend, unless you always color in books, then I recommend that it's the PDF set. Besides, that's also best value, because there you get the poster. You don't get that in the books. The book says the big one and the pocket one, and they have a different templates. In the set, you get all the templates of the big one, all the templates of the small one, plus the poster. And that's pretty good, because the poster can be printed up to A1, I think, actually, or yeah. But you know, I'd say A2 is sufficient to print it in. If you got to print it big, then you can sort of, you know, maybe once you've filled it in with all your colors, you can frame it, and then you can have your colors right in front of you. That was my idea with the poster, anyways. So I have this. I have them all. So we're on to the lime green. Yeah, the colors are just like, they're vibrating next to each other. They're just giving off the best of the best. And I think, you know, the yellow one I will have to replace now. But it's good. We started out with the Shinhan, so we've been through it, and that was the perfect yellow, that one. But I do have a yellow that can replace it, I think. So it's not a big disaster on a yellow. I just like it to be a bright yellow. Not too bright, but not too golden either, because we got that in the orange. So this is pretty. This is really looking, you know, this is looking good. It's nice that just on these that we're gonna just get that finish with the yellow. I mean, I didn't calculate that, but you know, it's always what happens. So I might even get the tiger one in. The tiger yellow is good as well. I'll get the other chameleon yellow. Oh, I kind of messed up the sequence of my chameleons that I so carefully put away in the sequence we had the last time. So yeah, those are typical me. And the chameleons are rolling a bit. We want to roll. We have that one, we have this one here. So yeah, I'm actually, while we're doing this with the coloring, I'm actually working on finding my perfect set of rainbow colors. You know, like once I'm done and I got that perfect set from all the different markers, then, you know, then we can write it down and we have a perfect rainbow set. So yeah, that could be fun. And here we just go here, here, because this one will carry up there. So, but that might even be nice to have a space there. So yeah, we're gonna find the replacement of that yellow. Let's see, because I think that there was one. Yeah, there's this sunshine, summer sun. Let's see how that one looks if it's too dark. Let's see here. I'll take this yellow because it's a very beautiful yellow. This one, I really like it, and that one is called lemon yellow, but it's sort of got a warm flare. And yes, the sunshine is a little bit colder, but I think it's the one that will work. We're just gonna go see how my tiger markers, if there's one of those that will fit up. This is the one that I like. So there's one tiger here that is very similar to that one. Let's see if the other one is a little bit more. Yeah, it's this one. This is the 44, and this one he's empty, so I'll have to find another 44. I have one here. Let's just see. I think he matches up. Oh my God, he's really full. But he says the same color. Now he's like totally different. That's really annoying. So you can see that's one of the issues with the tiger markers. Because that one is way darker. That one is not fitted. So yeah, then it will have to be the chameleon one. And it will have to be that one, even though it's a little bit colder shade. Yeah. My favorite, I love, I mean, I'm not big on greens, but my love is a lime green. I love lime green. It's just an awesome color. It always sort of makes me happy. It gives me such a happy vibe to see that lime green. But this should also stand out a little bit differently when it's next to the lime green. I'm hoping that it will dry up a lot lighter, because they are. Let's see it when it dries up. Right now you can't compare it because it's not dry. But the thing that right now we're seeing it next to the lime green, that gives it a different than when you're seeing it next to the orange, because it's not that different. The one that I'm matching up is not that different from the one we used, but it is a colder color. So it will, when you just see it next to the other one, to lime, then the lime will draw out the coldness, and you'll see that. And if you just saw it next to the orange one, then it wouldn't seem as cold or as greenish as it does right now. I'm hoping. No, I'm not hoping. I know. I'm not really. It's just the effect. And that's the kind of effects you can play with. If you know your colors really well, then that's the kind of effects that you can play with, how they act up next to each other. And that can make a picture very interesting, because you can get something different out of a color compared to who you put it next to. So that can make for interesting little challenges. So this one was the orangey, it's called the melon yellow, but it looks very orangey, like a bright orange between the orange and the yellow. Yeah, the others were way too dark. It had to be this one, but you can see it's brightening up now that it's drying. Then you can still see that it's colder, but once the orangey comes on, then I think we're all set. But this one, yeah, I want to see, what was this golden yellow from the chameleons? Because I remember this one was a nightmare because it was dry. And I think that golden one might be the one that gets the closest. It just has to dry up. Just have to leave it to dry up a little bit because it is very dark right away. Yeah. Do I have the patience for it to dry up? Yeah, I can put on a cigarette. But you know, I like this one. And I do think this will dry up better, but it's a little bit too far off. I have to see how much I have to color with it. If it's feasible for it to just do one more round for me. Because it's not really drying up enough to be that kind of, let me see if you take this one, the Seville orange. I think that'll be too, yeah, that's no, that won't cut it. I need something that's brighter than that. And that can be difficult because I don't think that there are that many oranges in a lot of sets. Yeah, that's kind of baffling because there's not, those two can't replace that one. So we'll have to go and see if we can just make it go one more round. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll get it. It will go there. Because it really is the perfect one in between here. I mean, it can't be replaced by any of those two. I don't feel like going through all the letters at once to find, because I might be able to find one there. But as far as I remember, they don't have that many oranges either. Oranges. But it's not needed in that many big spaces anymore, this one, so it might be stretchable. So these are the kind of little things in a colorist life. I mean, if people only knew how complicated it could be. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, well, I've done colors all my life, so of course I'm gonna have like, I have like little pet peeves about which one I find the, you know, the best next to the other one, and it can take me really, I mean, I wanted to make a painting in oil, and I wanted to have the perfect green, red, blue, and yellow combination. But there is a special combination that if you just get those colors right, everything will vibrate, totally vibrate between the colors. But it has to be really the perfect combination. And finding them in the oil colors, it was a nightmare. I think it took me months of trying little tubes of paints just to find that perfect combination where it would sort of start vibrating between each other. It's something that they played a lot with the op art movement. And I did op art when I didn't know that there was something called op art. Op art was in a late 60s, maybe early 60s, late 60s, where everything was more or less about illusions and creating movement without there being movement. And I always did what was considered op art without knowing that there was a whole movement behind it. Until one day I walked into a bookshop in Barcelona, and I saw a book, and on the front of this book there was one of my drawings. I thought, I was like, why is my drawing in front of this book? And I opened it and I was looking inside and I was like, damn, that's like my drawings. This is exactly what I do. I mean, some of them, they were uncannily the same as my drawings. And then I found out that there's a guy called Vasarely, who was a French op artist and sort of the father of op art. And he drew exactly like me. And he also did some amazing paintings. And that's why I sort of, because I always did black and white before that. So when I started looking into Vasarely and the whole op art movement, I also saw his colored paintings that were just absolutely amazing. I was totally inspired. So I wanted to try those perfect color combinations. And I mean, that's the thing. One day I'm going to Aix-en-Provence in southern France to visit the Vasarely Foundation Museum, which is really, I really want to go there. Yeah, so that's how I discovered that my type of art that I've been doing had a name, op art, optical art. The movement is not that, it's never been that much talked about because the artists in it weren't that like outrageous artists. They were just like working on shape, form, geometry, colors, combinations, waves, stuff like that that would make subtle effects that would be big visual effects when you walk away and walk closer to a piece. And I worked a lot in that category of pieces, big pieces. So yeah, maybe one day I'll show you my catalog, my art book with my paintings and stuff. It's not a very good professional one because it was like I did it myself and I did it before I really knew about computer and how to work computer. So all the pictures are taken with a normal analog camera. So it's not like the best of photography. And you know, those where you have to go and have them developed and it takes some time. And yeah, you know, before everything went digital and now everything looks a lot better. So my catalog is from back then. And since I lost mainly most of the pieces, then I can't redo it. But I have a pretty full catalog that I did for my grandmother's, was it 75-year-old birthday? Yeah, I think I did it for her so that she could show everybody like what her granddaughter was doing in Spain and all that. Hi, Elizabeth. Nice to meet you and see you here. Welcome to the party. And right now I'm just babbling about colors. So welcome to that. So yeah, oops, wrong way. So yeah, one day maybe I'll do a walkthrough and talk to you about some of my big art pieces. But yeah, that's where I discovered op art in Barcelona. And I do have a theory about why I drew like that. Because I remember when I was small, I didn't see my dad a lot because I lived with my mom. And when I did see him, he would take me to a lot of art museums. And we would just go there and look at all the art. And I'm thinking that the epoch, the era, fitted really well with there might being some Vasarely exposed in Denmark at the time because it fit with the 70s, end of 70s probably, you know. So I might have been exposed to it by going with him to these expositions and you know, museums and stuff. So, you know, and I've been small, so that might have, you know, just, you know, made an impression in my mind and made it later in life. That was how I drew or painted. So I'm thinking that it might be some subconscious that I've seen it as a kid walking in these museums. I remember I found it utterly tedious, you know, I'd rather have an ice cream and go to the park. But I'm thinking that might have, it might be why, you know, that I've might have seen this op art movement with him when I've been walking around as a kid, and then subconsciously just like, you know, ate it up. And then later in life, when I was drawing and painting, that was what came out, because I sort of was influenced by it early on. So that's my theory of how it came about. So yeah, it's always nice to have theories about things. What I really think is weird is that when I was in art school, I never really heard about the op art movement. I mean, that I find is weird, because we had classes about everything. We even had classes about Warhol. You know, why wouldn't we have had something about something as significant as op art? That was a huge movement, and it was a really interesting, I mean, really interesting work. But I guess it just didn't make a splash, you know, it didn't, they weren't like, in that era, in the 70s and the 60s, there was a lot of artists that were really controversial, doing crazy wild stuff. And I think that got noticed a lot more, and probably written in bigger in the history books than the op art movement, which was quite a big movement, but not very controversial, and not very, the artists weren't like crazies. Yeah, I'm sitting here telling you I'm not crazy. You're thinking, yeah. She's just using this as an excuse to say that she's not really crazy, but we know her weirdies. We see her weirdies. Only a crazy person can draw like that. Awesome, Ross. I'm looking so much forward to see it. So yeah, but it's probably been such a little chapter in my art history books, and not really been on the schedule. So I missed it in art school, totally. And in art school, all we had to do was like, do these still libens, you know, where you'd like put up stones and fruits and shit, and then you have to sit there and draw it exactly like it is. And, I mean, I always found that really tedious. You can do it. Anyone can do it. With the practice, anyone can do that. The interesting thing is to do something that where you use your imagination, you know, something that people won't think about. I mean, anybody can also do a weirdie, but they might not think about the weirdie. They might not have the weirdie in the mind, and that way they might not be able to do the weirdie. So, you know, there's like things about having unique styles, or doing something that is entirely out of the box, that sort of signifies you and your style and the fun. And I think that the weirdies sort of are a fun part of my character, and I like to have them develop on when I'm drawing them, you know. So I'm not saying that nobody else can draw weirdies, because anybody can draw what they put their mind to and practice to draw. Drawing is a skill that you can perfect. And yeah, some are born with that skill. Others, they work years and years and years to perfect the skill. So there's a definite difference. For instance, somebody like Joseph Shivery, he's totally born with the skill. I mean, he's born with the creatures that he makes, and they're just freaking amazing. And he's been drawing since he was 10 years old. He's a natural. He's not a art school trained artist. He's a total natural, and what he does is, you know, you can't compare it. It's absolutely amazing. And the same thing, like if you look at somebody like Alfred Villanova, he's also got really distinctive, his own style. Mr. End, yeah, his own style. Laurie Bertrand. It's all, you know, it's a very special. Rover Shaw, that's also a very, very distinct style that is totally his. So this is a Bennett Klein, that's also very distinct style. So, you know, Tim Jeffs is very realistic, super realistic, super detailed, almost almost more realistic than realistic. It's like that good, you know. And those are like, yeah, those people, they are have a natural talent, you know, a natural. But I bet you, well, not, maybe not Joseph, because Joseph, he just has it. But a lot of them have also worked on perfecting their skills, on getting to the level of professionalism and output that they have. Yeah, Joseph, he can just draw on a pizza box, and it's just like amazing. I mean, it's just crazy, crazy, crazy. So yeah, so definitely anyone can do it if they set their mind to it and they train. But it might not be the same results as somebody who has it inside of them. It might technically be the same results, but the art comes also from the ideas and the concept developed in the mind of the artist. And yes, anybody can go and copy that, but then it wouldn't be an original idea or an original piece. Then it would be a copied piece. It might even be better skill-wise, but you know, I don't know if you catch my drift. But what I'm sort of trying to say is this, you know, it's an inspirational thing. So here we're gonna go up there, and we're gonna go here. These arms are gonna take a little while, but now we got our perfect set, and we did replace a few of the tricky ones, except that goldy orange thing that I couldn't really find a good replacement for. And the other ones seem to be working with us right now. And these are all smaller sections, so it won't be that bad, I think. So we are moving on with it. And I'm just still talking. I'm getting used to talking a lot. That's interesting. Op art is OP as optical. Optical, op art. Yeah, it is op art. There was a very much also team efforts. A lot of teams worked on it. So exactly, you can have a good eye, but you can also train. So there's different levels and different ways of coming to, you know, of determination, and also how you feel about it. I mean, like, I get like ill if I don't draw and I don't make art. I feel bad, you know, but then I don't feel well. I definitely need to do it, you know. It helps me because it's something that I just need to do. Oh, I like it. Oh, I like it. Yes, I'm happy, happy, happy. It's very satisfying to see the colors come together like this. Even though it was a bit of a struggle to find the replacements and stuff like that, because I didn't have enough ink in the others. But it's very, very satisfying to see it come together. Yeah, I'm starting to like think, ooh, I'm worried about how it's gonna go with the Weirdies, with my markers, how long they're gonna hold up, when it's gonna be down to only tiger markers, nothing else. Yeah, well, chameleons, I have replacements, so we got that in shape, and then we'll just have to see what happens. Maybe, you know, if we share enough and there's enough attention, some marker brands will come up and try to sponsor me so that I can have enough markers for the whole Maybe I should try to ask some. You want to support Weirdie a day? Because I'm going to run out of markers. You know, then they can have they can sponsor it so that I don't run out of markers. It can be Weirdie of the Day was sponsored by. But I think that it has to be slightly bigger than it is now in order to get any markers to sponsor or want to be featured. Then I'd have to get like a viral Weirdie. But then it might be a possibility, you know, that they might want to kick in just for the heck of it, just for the pure fun, you know, not for reviews, but just to be a part. You never know what may come, what may go. But when we're gonna doing it, maybe doing it, and of course I have lots of pencils and pastels and watercolors and everything else. So even if I run out of markers, we are not like close to the end. I have a lot of other stuff we can use. But I do like markers the best. I love markers, so but we'll venture there. We'll get there, little by little. Maybe I'll surprise myself and fall in love with all the colored pencils as well. So yeah, this is gonna be cool. So now it's gonna be moving a little bit faster, I think, because we only have very few sections left. Did I forget about that? Yes, I did. Because that was the last one of those. It's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, that's nice. And my daughter, she wanted to invite her friend and his mom over, maybe this weekend. I did write her and say that maybe we can do something Friday or Saturday, because I wasn't doing that mom-daughter dinner thing. But then I was thinking, what am I gonna do? Because then they're gonna come here and they're gonna sleep over to the next day, because that's easier than going home late in the evening. I was like thinking, what am I gonna do with her when I have to color? I'll have to sort of tell her, you know, you'll have to color with me for the live video, that we will have two people coloring. I don't even know if she would like to color. But, you know, she seems like very, you know, fresh and fun. So I think, you know, she might say, Mom, that's cool, let's do it. You know, let's have a night out of it and have fun with that. So I'm definitely going to tell her, because it's going to be rude if I sit and color for 2.5 hours. So, you know, then might as well ask her to join me in coloring. Even let her color with my... Maybe I'll let her color with my... Oh shit, I have to find out which ones. My tiger markers maybe, or she could color with some of the colored pencils. Maybe, yeah. You know, the polite thing would of course be to let her choose which ones she would like to color with. But if I narrow down the choice possibilities, that would not be mean. You know, just to narrow them down slightly. You can choose between these colored pencils and these markers. Yeah, but what about the other ones you have? No, they don't work really well. They're almost empty, and these ones, they break all the time, and so yeah, I'll have to figure out how I get through that. Maybe she could color with Victoria's selection of markers. It could also be a challenge, you know. That could be a little challenge. No, but that you know, it would be fun if she would like to join me. So yeah, I'll have to see what I do about that. Sharing markers, letting other people try your materials. It's a scary thought. Yeah, I didn't think that far when I said to Victoria, yeah, it's okay. No, I didn't think that far, did I? Yeah, I think these colors are really working next to each other. Even though these two are so close, they still have a distinct, you know, those four there. You know, they have really a good sequence, a very lovely sequence, lovely contrast, and that's what it's about: finding those that work next to each other. I'm just gonna 1 second. I'm gonna show you something. Uh, my books are in a mess. I don't even know where it is. That's strange. Okay, I found it. Like for instance, I'm just gonna show you in the color companion. You know, like you have places here where you can sort of put them next to each other. Also here, like where you can see the colors next to each other. Here you make whole wheels of sets, but there's also in the other one here where there's some ideal spots. Like for instance, these are really good to sort of make a little wheel where you can check out what colors work next to each other. I have some other that are bigger than that even. Here, like where you can put 4 colors. And for instance, these are all blacks, all silvers from different sets, and all golds from different sets that I put up just to see them. These ones are also really great to see the effect of how different colors will work in different relationships with the size. So that's kind of, you know, like things that are great to have a deeper look into, you know, like also here to see how they work next to each other. So that's kind of things that I use the color companion for. First of all, I use it for to just make a record of the actual color, and then, you know, I use it to work out color combinations that will work well together. So that's another thing that that kind of stuff is good for. And it doesn't matter if you make your own or you find some templates on Google, or if you have mine. It's just it's a good exercise to find those things that work next to each other, and to have a more controlled relationship with your colors when you're choosing them. So that you sort of know, okay, yeah, that one will go well there, or yeah, stuff like that. It's just like, I just wanted to show you because I talk about it all the time. And I thought it's nice to see what I'm rambling about in a reel, you know, so that you know what, that that's, you know, it's not just talk, it's how I do when I try to figure out a set. And just to have that overview is really great. And to get that overview right away when you have the set. And that's the first thing you do with it, just like, you know, test it out. That's pretty nice thing to have, because then you already tried them, you already had them in your hand, you already felt how they work, and you can work it from there. And then you will also easier be able to find which colors you want in a particular drawing. So that's a great help for anyone who likes to color, I think. Um, I do think that there's others who have made. I think Anna Manera has also made a kind of set of templates like that. I'm not the only one who's made it. So I actually think hers was out before mine, but I was already working on mine. So it's not like I copied her concept, because I already did them for myself for years and years, which is probably great minds think alike and had the same idea. So yeah, I can put it. Because this one will carry all the way through here, and this one will carry all the way through here. So it's going to make it interesting. It's going to be intertwining a bit here. And soon, you know, soon we'll have this done, that part, and then we'll just be focused here, and then it'll go pretty crazy from there. And it is really shaping up. It looks good when you see it, and that's the colors that are working well. And exactly, it's great to have something like that. It's great, Bev, to have something like that, because it exactly, finding colors that match is stressful. But if you have an overview of your colors, then it's easier to find colors that match. Now, for me, it was stressful because I don't have an overview of the chameleon set, and the letter set is so long ago that I made my overview, so I don't even know where it is. And the style files has faded. It was a big one I made that hang on the wall for a while. I have to make new ones, but I'm making these new templates that is going to go for particular sets of particular sizes, so that they fit. So it's going to be something with that whenever I get done, if I ever get done, a second color companion to sort of expand on the templates available, templates that make sense to me. That's why I always make my own, and that's why now I translate them into books as well, because I'm thinking if I'm having difficulty finding templates that work for me, then maybe somebody else's too, and maybe mine will work for them, or maybe not. And that's why often it's good to make your own templates also, because you might need a specific thing that you don't find in any given template, and then you can just like make your own little system. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You can also just buy quadratic, you know, like squared paper with the squares in them, and then use that. You know, it doesn't have to be that big of a challenge to make your own template that works for you. But it is nice to have them also on the paper that you'll be working on, and have a collection of them that is ordered so that you can easily come and find what you're looking for, so it's not on scraps of paper everywhere. That does work very well. And that's like where you would be, like here where I am, with the having to replace one with another and all that. There it could be nice to make, you know, templates or overviews where you are comparing the different colors of the different brands. I also made that with the Mitsubishi, because I had the cheaper Mitsubishi, smaller set. I think it was 36 pencils. That wasn't a very expensive set. And then I got the huge, really awesome, expensive set. A friend sent me it from Japan as a present, and a lovely present with also the whole binds. Yes, I was very, very lucky there. And then I compared, because I was like, why? Because the big set of Mitsubishi that comes in that really, really awesome box that is to die for box is really, really expensive. Because if you compare like what each marker would cost, then in that set the markers are costing like 5 times the price of the set of 36. And it can't all be the box. I know the box has something to do with it, but I was thinking there must be some difference between the colors. And yeah, well, you'd have to see my review to understand. It's confusing to me still. I will still have to do another live comparison or something like that. Because I did find that there was it's not very consistent in those. They're great colors. Those pencils are really awesome. But there's just some things that don't really pan out with them. And I do suspect that you're paying for the box, which is an awesome box, but why don't just sell the box on its own? I could use it for a lot of different color pencils because I love that box. It's the coolest box. It is the nicest box. We'll take it out one day and play with it. It's a really lovely box. All color pencils should come in a box like that, I think. But you know, then it's where does it become crazy if you're paying only for the box, or I mean, that's also a little bit out there, isn't it? So yeah, we're shaping up. You better say that, 'cause I need a man. Yeah, we're trying to reduce stress. That's why you need to do the color companion thing and do the templates. Then you don't have to stress about it because then you already know the colors. Then there's no stress. Oh yeah, I have the rainbow pencil. That sounds pretty cool. I have some from Quinoa that has different colors in same pencil. And was that difficult, Bev, to work with that, or how did you find working with it? Did it work easily, or was it a bit complicated to get it to work properly? I should really take out some of those colored pencil sets. That might also reduce the stress of being afraid of using all my ink constantly. Just to switch it to some colored pencil. I just know if I start on colored pencil, it'll take me forever to finish one. And then with my tight grip, I'll get all wrapped up and hurt my hands. Companion. Yeah, exactly. I have a lot of colored pencils that we can try, and I'll have to get. I think it'll have to be some of those where there's really not that many sections, or really tiny sections. But then I know it will take me forever. I'm so slow with the colored pencils. I'm a slow bow when it comes to colored pencils, for sure. Oh, this one is not liking me, this marker. But he's also been empty since the start almost, so I can understand it. It's like, But it's also, I probably obsess more about the colors when I'm trying to find my rainbow thing, which is not really necessary to do. It shouldn't be necessary to do. But I do like to find the colors that I think really fit next to each other. So, I mean, I find it more stressful if they don't fit, because I just really want them to play off each other on the finished piece. But also, I'm not really, I draw more than I color. And I usually, when I color my own things, my big pieces, and these now, and for covers and stuff like that. Wow, that's cool. Oh yeah, the Koh-i-Noor swirl pencils. I haven't tried the swirl. You don't mean those tritone, or is it swirl pencils? I'm not sure I know those. Oh, you're running out of printer ink. I'm sorry. Oh no. Santa should have brought you printer ink. I mean, Santa should know that printer ink is very, very important, especially when you're going through the epic Christmas giveaway that I made in the. I mean, I think there's quite a few people that after December and my epic Christmas giveaway have found themselves running extremely low on printer ink. I do think so. I do think that that has been a problem. Maybe there's even been like issues in the States of ink shortage in some areas. Because I do know that there was a few who thought that they would need to download, but they thought that they would need to print all the pages within the 7 days of the download expiring. So that they were like obsessively printing everything the day they got it. And I found out about this like after a while, and it was not one, it was a couple of people, and I said, no, I mean, once you downloaded it, you can just print it at your own leisure, and you know, I suggest just print out the one that you want to color. You might not want to color all of them, and so I think there was a few who actually printed the whole thing. And I mean, of those 24 books, let's say that like most of them are minimum 50 pages, but a lot of them are like 100 and 101 and 150. I think there's even one that was 150 maybe. I mean, that's a lot of pages. 24 books. It's a lot of pages. So yeah, I also print a lot because with the Global Doodle Gems, I print to see the pictures that people send me, to see the quality of what it prints like after I clean it. So I printed a lot, and with my own drawings, I print them to see if they work. After cleaning, of course, because then you see it better. And oh my God, I printed so much. And there was ones, you know, with the patterns, I had to, you know, sort of sort them out, which ones were fitted in with each other and all that. And I gave a lot of the printouts that I didn't use anyways, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to color all of them. I gave a lot of the printouts to Victoria School. So they have like a stack of printouts of all my drawings, so that they play with when they have a quiet time in class, or before class begins, the kids can go and take the printouts and sit and color with it. So that's pretty cool. Victoria is very proud of it, but she gets terribly offended if somebody does something to one of my drawings that she thinks was not really good. Like there was one boy, I think he cut it out or something. He just cut in it and made something else out of the piece of paper. And she was, and you know what he did, Mom? He ruined your work. He ruined your drawing. He just colored on it on the other side, you know, not on your drawing. No. And then he was cutting in it. She was really like totally offended. So yeah, it's got up again. I'm just gonna see if it jumped off up here. because it might be my Wi-Fi that, you know, not the Wi-Fi, but the actual, it is on the right one. So how can it cut out? I'm sorry if you had a problem seeing me for a second there. I have no idea why it cuts out, because it is connected with the cable. So it might be my provider that is having some issues in the area. So if it does cut out, that will be why. Because this is the second time that normally does not happen. I used to have Epson. I do have still the Epson. But the Epson one I have was like, you know, more for like fine print. And it's way, way, way too pricey in ink to print what I print. The amount of prints that I do sometimes when I, you know, if I have a book where I have 150 drawings, or like, you know, like with the tiny fat book of pattern designs, there's 250 drawings in it. You know, so you know, to print out 250 on the Epson, that is like really, really beautiful print quality, it's just can't, you know, you can't pay for the ink. The ink is so pricey. So I got to replace it, and then only use it if it's a fine art print. Then I got the HP that can print A3. The Epson could also print A3, because that's sort of, I mean, I need a printer that can print big as an artist. Because it's just too expensive for me to go and have those prints made somewhere else. So to be able to do it at home is important. And besides, price-wise, it's not that big of a gap, I found. And I didn't pay that much for the HP. The HP one I have, which is absolutely awesome. It can scan A3, it can print A3 plus and scan A3 plus. So it's like really, and it didn't cost that, you know, it was cheaper than some of the normal ones. So it wasn't an expensive printer. But it's a very, very good tool, and it allows me to print them out this big. So think about that. If you're going to get a new printer, look and compare prices. Because printing in A3, especially if it's complicated little stuff, will help you a lot. So, I mean, I would always, it can also print the other size, of course, but it's just a great help. And also the piece you get, if you want to hang it or give it away as a present, then it's a pretty good size, you know, just to have a double up of the US letter. But it's also a lot easier to work on in the smaller size. And to get the paper for the A3 is not that much more, and the print cost is not that much more. So altogether, it's not a bad thing. If you're going to replace it anyways, look if you can get a good deal and get one that can actually do the double size, because you will like it for pieces with the smaller details and pieces that you want to give away, where you want to make it like extra impressive or something like that. I think that's if you are replacing a printer, then just look into what the price difference would be, because in most cases the price is not that big of a difference. But what it can do for you when you're working on your color, then it can really do a lot of a difference, you know, to be able to do that. I think that's just my opinion. I do have a lot of opinions, don't I? So yeah, now we're into the last parts here. I think it's developing so lovely. It's really looking like Really awesome. I'm happy with this one. And then tomorrow we have that weird goofy guy, a weird goofy one that I'm gonna color him upside down because I colored him the other way around last time. And when I put him upside down, I see something else. So I'm definitely gonna do him different this time, just to have a different experience with him. A whole new experience. We'll have a look at him when we get there, and I'll put up the next one for the 13th on the pay hip, so you guys can get it. It's also going to be a nice. Oh, they're all nice, so they're all funny, funky, little characters of their own. You know, I should make little stories for them. You know, now that I'm gonna have them all colored, maybe I'll make like a colored book with a little funny stories. Yes, I think it would be a US business size. It's a double. It's a double of US letter size, more or less. So I think, yeah, 11 by, no, because full US letter is 8.5 by 11. So it's actually double. I should, where do I have? Where's my ruler? Always when I look for a ruler, I can't see one. Would have to be one of those with the inches on it. I don't have one at hand because I couldn't measure it. Let's see. Yeah, well, I don't have one at hand. But if you go in and then look at sizes and look at A3 to inches, Google it, then it should say how many inches A3 is instead of centimeters, because it's bigger than the business size. It's slightly bigger than that. I know that, but how much, I'm not sure. All this time he's not really complaining. He had a good rest in between, so he was happy on this one. Let me see. That's definitely the last round for this one, so it actually served for the whole drawing, which is nice. Yep. But yeah, I think it looks really nice. And it turned out just beautifully with the colors. So tomorrow, well, since Victoria's not going to school, then it's actually a weekend starting tomorrow. So yeah, so I will not be staying up really long today. I'll be, because there's no reason to stay up, whereas normally I stay up because then, you know, I can make the breakfast and be all ready when she gets up and walk her nicely to school and all that. And today, you know, then tomorrow she'll sleep a little bit longer. But also I have to prepare for the weekend, because in the weekend she's home, so she will, you know, I won't have the privilege of being able to sleep while she's in school. I have the privilege of being able to sleep a little bit longer in the morning, because she'll get up at 9 or 10, not at 6:30, where I wake her up normally. So yeah, I have to do like a switch between school and weekends to fit in with the coloring and everything, I think. But I'll get used to that. Yeah, US standard is 8.5 by 11. Yeah, but then, you know, like, you know, some people have issues with eyes. And that way, you know, the size that I'm coloring on A3 now. and that is really nice because then the camera can see it, but I don't get like in conflict with the camera with my hand or with the markers. So that's why I enjoy it. And also, if you want to frame it and use it for something, then it's a nice size to have. I think it's a little bit more cheap. So there we go. We're done. We did it. Yep. So that's it. That's how he looks. And we can turn him around. And there he also looks great. I mean, I think both ways work perfectly. So it's an awesome one. Yep. So guess that concludes it for today. 2.5 hours. So yeah, it was not a quick one, but that's also because I had the challenges of finding the replacements. But it looks, the result is nice. I'm happy with the result. If we go close, you can see that the colors are really nice, really full. You know. Whoopsie. It's a really nice color play with them. So yeah, a nice one, a nice Weirdie. So I'm wishing you a nice evening, and yeah, it's looking great. And thank you, Ross, and thank you, Bev, and thank you guys for being here and making these evenings funny and interesting and full of communication. That's really enjoyable. And I'll see you guys. Oh, I'm just going to show you the one for tomorrow. I almost forgot. Here he is. This is the upside down. The first time I made him this way around, and this is how I drew him as well. But I think tomorrow I'm going to color him with a focus on the upside down, since I already did it the other way around. So yeah, this is going to be a different one, and that's going to be fun for sure. And that will be the 12th. So we're through 11 days of color Weirdie a day, and that means that there's about 11 days, so there's 355 left. Okay, so on that, let's just say see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye, same place. Probably maybe not same time, but same place. Bye. And I'll finish over and out.